You have a goal to lose weight, but you either love eating out, are traveling, or maybe you just forgot to pack a lunch. In this video, we're going to be talking about what it means to be in a calorie deficit, how to do it, and more importantly, tips that you can apply today when you're eating out in order to accomplish the goals that you are out to accomplish on your own. My name is Shayla. I am an IFBB Bikini Pro and pro at eating on the go. I recently had a baby 8 months ago, and in my journey to my postpartum baby weight, I lost 34 pounds and ate out over 70 times in that time frame. During all of my bodybuilding shows that I have competed in, I was eating out and traveling multiple days per week, and even when I earned my IFBB Pro card, I was traveling and eating out multiple meals per day. It is my absolute passion, and I love to educate on how to accomplish your fitness and nutrition goals while eating out. Trust me, I am not going to stop until I am the biggest YouTuber and biggest name in accomplishing your fitness and nutrition goals while eating out. I have a free resource guide linked in the description below for Chick-Fil-A, Outback Steakhouse, and Burger King. I'll get into the details of that at the end of this video. If you're returning to my channel, thanks for being here, and if you're new, don't forget to subscribe. I appreciate you guys supporting my small YouTube channel that is going to be massive one of these days. What does it mean to be in a calorie deficit? It is when the calories you consume are less than the calories you expend. And when I say expend, I don't just mean exercise. We'll get into those details in a little bit. If you think of it like a teeter-totter and the calories you consume are equal to the calories you expend, this is going to be your maintenance calories. If the calories you consume are higher than the calories you expend, you are going to be in what we call a calorie surplus, and vice versa. If your calories are lower than the calories you expend, you are going to be in a calorie deficit. And when you're in a calorie deficit, you are losing weight. Not always fat, it could be muscle, but you are losing weight. This might sound a little bit familiar if you've heard anything about calories in versus calories out. That topic in and of itself has been a little bit controversial if you even look it up online. The calories in portion is extremely self-explanatory, the food you eat. But the calories out portion, a lot of people just think that's just exercise. But in reality, there's actually 4 things that contribute to our output or our energy expenditure. And we're gonna dive into those 4 things right now. We already mentioned the first thing, which is exercise. Obviously, you're going to be burning calories when you exercise. Next is going to be all of the daily movements and activities that you do when you're not exercising. So for example, talking, waving your arms around, blinking, walking to the refrigerator, things like that. This is called non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Next is actually going to come from your macronutrient breakdown. So there's carbs, fats, and proteins, and surprisingly, protein, it actually takes the most energy to break down protein. So if you have a higher protein diet, you're going to be burning more calories. I dive into this a lot more into detail in my protein video if you guys want to go check it on out over there after you guys get done watching this one. The 4th thing that contributes to your energy expenditure is going to be the energy that is put into keeping your body alive when it's just laying there. This is called your basal metabolic rate. Take a look on your screen right now and you'll see several things that will attribute to you having a higher BMR versus a lower BMR. I won't take the time here, so go ahead and press pause if you want to look more into this. Now that we've gone over all 4 things that attribute to our output, the teeter-totter should look a little bit more like this, where we have 4 things contributing to our output and just our input over here on this side. It's extremely important to understand these fundamentals when we're talking about getting in a calorie deficit, because in order to create that deficit, we either need to eat less or move more. And this is actually quite easier said than done. A lot harder than it sounds, easier said than done. Our bodies just want to stay comfortable. We know from scientific evidence that if we lower the calories that we intake, our body actually naturally responds by lowering our activity level that we move throughout the day. We might move our hands less, we might walk slower, and things like that, to where we are actually creating an energy balance, so we are actually not losing weight, even if we're eating less. On the flip side of that, if we're wanting to move more, our body's going to respond and say, oh, I'm hungry, you need to ingest more energy because I'm burning more. And so we might be exercising more, but we might be also eating more. And so we are again going to be maintaining our weight and not successfully achieving that calorie deficit that we're trying to get after in order to lose weight. how are we going to create a calorie deficit while eating out? The odds are obviously against us, and you're totally right, because in a 2016 paper, of all the restaurants that they had in that study, 92%, that's almost 100%, 92% exceeded the typical energy requirements per meal. And 3 of the 4 top restaurants, which was American, Italian, and Chinese, the mean total of those calories per meal was almost 1,500 calories per meal. The odds are obviously against us when we're eating out. To be completely honest, it's going to be a little bit easier if you avoid eating out if you're trying to achieve a calorie deficit. But in this video, we are talking about how you can accomplish a calorie deficit if you are eating out. Before getting to all of the practical things that you can do to successfully achieve your calorie deficit, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, especially if you have received any sort of value of the content that I have been providing today. This is only my 7th video and I'm brand new to YouTube, so it's a little bit vulnerable to set myself up in front of a camera and to vulnerably share a lot of things that I feel super passionate about. But like I said, I am not going to stop until I become the #1 YouTuber specifically for accomplishing your fitness and nutrition goals while eating out. I would really appreciate your guys' support if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button, liking this video, let me know your thoughts in the comments. And also, I want to do more like an Instagram story type YouTube video where it's just more of a vlog and conversation. And so let me know what you guys think about that. By the way, your maintenance calories are going to be a lot different than somebody else's, and your own maintenance calories are actually going to be changing throughout your life. So for example, when you do achieve your calorie deficit and you do start to lose weight, your maintenance calories will actually decrease. I'm going to put up a chart right here, so take a look on your screen where it goes into a little bit more details of things that can actually attribute to your maintenance calories being higher or lower. So go ahead and press pause if you want to take a better look at that. Tip number 1, be aware of the other meals that you're consuming throughout the day. So for example, if you know that you need to consume 1,800 calories in order to lose weight, you can either eat 3 meals at 600 calories or 4 meals at 450 calories to get the same result. Maybe you know you're headed to McDonald's after work today and you really are craving that chicken sandwich. So maybe you should stick to 3 meals per day, because that crispy chicken sandwich at McDonald's is 600 calories. Whereas if you were to get the McDouble, it's only 390 calories. So depending on what you like better, whether it's the burger or the chicken, or how many meals you want to have throughout the day, just as an example, you can switch it up depending on your preferences. Next, you can eliminate a macronutrient. And I don't personally like the way that that sounds, but if you're doing it just simply for a meal and it makes it a lot easier to reduce your total number of calories, I'm totally for it. So for example, at In-N-Out Burger, you can get a protein style burger where you just wrap it in lettuce versus having the bun. Tip number 3, avoid deep fried foods. For example, don't do this. Tonight I went to Super Chick's and got this amazing salad. It was so good. It's like the avocado salad or something like that. Deep fried avocado and deep fried chicken. It was so good, you guys. So don't order that. There is an option to get the grilled chicken. Try to stay away from those deep fried foods like those fries, the deep fried chicken, and all those things that are super yummy. Ditch it for the diet. Tip number 4, check out if they have a modified health menu. For example, at Blaze Pizza, they have a keto crust. At a different pizza place, it's called Pyology, they have a protein style chicken crust. I've actually tried that one. It wasn't the best, but if I was dieting, which I wasn't at the time, it probably would have tasted a little bit better. I find that when you're dieting, things that normally wouldn't taste as good taste better because you're dieting. Tip number 5, stick to less ingredients. So for example, you might think that getting a salad might be a better option, but oftentimes those salads are loaded with tons and tons of different ingredients. At Chili's, one of my favorite salads, and I get this a lot, it's so good, it's the quesadilla explosion salad. It has like quesadillas, cheese, beans, tomatoes, like all these things. It actually comes with 2 sides of dressing. I always get my dressing on the side, which is next tip, spoiler alert, 2 sides of dressing, like all of those things combined, it's like over 1,000 calories. I'll link it up here so you guys can see. But anyway, so try to minimize the number of ingredients because you're likely going to be consuming less calories if you consume less ingredients. Number 6, skip the dessert. And as much as I am a huge advocate advocate of treating yourself every once in a while. If you are on a diet, especially when you're eating out, sometimes having a larger calorie meal needs to be compensated by skipping that dessert. So for example, at Zupa's, it comes with a free cookie at some locations, or maybe even a chocolate covered strawberry. So if you skip that, you can save out on a couple hundred calories. Number 7, avoid the loaded options. For example, at Outback Steakhouse, they have a loaded home-style mashed potato and a home-style mashed potato. Not to be confused, because there's quite a disparity in the calories there. It's like 320 calories for the loaded and 240 for the just regular home-style. By the way, I took that straight from my Pro on the Go guide, which is specifically for Chick-Fil-A, Outback Steakhouse, and Burger King. So go ahead and check that out in the link in the description below. It has over 30 free meal options, 10 for each restaurant, all 500 calories or less, 25 grams of protein or more. So check that out in the link in the description below. Number 8, avoid the high calorie drinks. You'd think this is self-explanatory, but people, America, stop drinking your high calorie drinks. Holy smokes, I just said calorie twice. Just drop the drinks, okay, you guys? If you need to, bring your own little packet that's like a low calorie, like 5 calories or less, and you can dump it in your water. Ask for a sparkling water, make it a little more fancy. Even get a water in a wine glass. I've done that before. Do what you gotta do to eliminate those high calorie drinks. Tip number 9, pretty self-explanatory. Order a leaner meat. For example, Texas Roadhouse, you could get a chicken versus the ribs. You're gonna save a ton of calories in that example. Tip number 10, eat your sandwiches open face. Take off one of the buns, maybe it's a burger, maybe it's a sandwich, maybe it's whatever else has 2 pieces of bread in between. Take off one of the buns and save yourself, I think it's anywhere, you could even go from like 50 to 150, maybe even 200 calories by just taking off one of the buns. Tip number 11, look at the calories on the menu, whether it's online or in the actual restaurant. If you have a general idea of how many calories you need to eat in order to lose weight, try to do the math and make it less than that number. Pretty self-explanatory. Again, easier said than done, but tip, look at the menu. Number 12, ask for the sauce or dressing on the side. You have no idea how many calories those workers in the back are squeezing onto your salads, onto your sandwiches, onto whatever it is that they're dousing with the dressing. So ask for it on the side. For example, at Chick-Fil-A, you can actually save this amount of calories simply by asking for no butter on the bun. Lucky tip number 13, intermittent fasting. You don't have to be a full-blown intermittent faster in order to put intermittent fasting into practice when you know that you are going to eat out. For example, if you know that on Saturday you're going out to dinner with your friends, you can say, I'm not going to eat breakfast until like 2 o'clock, and then you can spare some calories so you can have more fun at night with your friends. Whatever works best for you, I want you to run away with that and do it. All I want you to do though is accomplish your freaking goals. Don't let anything stop you, you guys. Eating out, don't feel guilty about it. I want you to enjoy yourself and enjoy the foods that you love, but be aware and keep these tips in mind so that when you do eat out, you can freaking crush it and kill your goals. My last tip is to subscribe to this channel because you guys, let's be real, there's gonna be more value coming your way. So please, thank you for your support, and I hope to see you guys next time.